So, Steve, in less than 10 words, would you describe what you and your business has to offer clients?
I forgot I had to do this. Sorry, the 10 words. Okay, I'm thinking on my feet here, metaphorically. I supply quality products that will be an ambassador for your company. I have no idea how many words that was.
Doesn't matter. Then just tell us a little bit more about your business in addition to what you shared with us earlier.
Okay, sure. I've written some things out, but I'll just dip into it. I won't read it out. So I've been selling promotional merchandise since family business set up in 1991. I set up myself as a limited company beginning of 2020. Seemed like a good idea at the time. I'm sometimes referred to as the pen man because when asked about the biggest seller, it always has been and it always will be in my career, will be pens. But that doesn't mean to say I don't sell loads of other things. As I said earlier, key fobs, umbrellas and clothing and technological items. I sell a lot of corporate clothing at the moment, which is interesting. Over the last 15 years, I've developed selling into the road safety industry, and there will be clients all around the country. In fact, this week, I've taken an order from a lady road safety officer in Shetland, which is quite interesting. Most of my general business comes from Banbury, Oxfordshire, Warwickshire, Buckinghamshire, but as business comes through referrals, my tentacles go out across the country. The way I operate is I'd like to engage with the client and talk about what they want, and as I said earlier, find out what they want, how much their budget is, and their ethos, and what they're looking for, and try and come up with the exact product, as I said in my 10 words. Many of my large clients haven't ordered from me since the start of the pandemic. So that has had an impact on my company. But on the other hand, I'm getting lots of inquiries at the moment from other existing clients and new people. But sometimes they are quite relatively small value, which is great, but you need a lot of them to make up the difference.
Great.
So is that a good start?
That's good. Tell us why you think you and your business are a good fit to Maxis.
Well, I'm quite an easy referral, if that's what, to be quite frank about it, because there's obviously people on here with sort of quite high ticket, possibly products that they're sold. Whereas there's often someone around who needs some pens and some umbrellas and that sort of thing. And as I said earlier, they can be quite relatively small amounts. So that's good. And I suppose that, to be honest, it does daunt me a little bit to offer your services to people that I know, because A, because I don't really know you yet, and B, I'm thinking of because I'm selling things, that's my mindset, but you're selling services, which I just need to get my head around that a bit more. So I'm not quite sure how to answer that question.
Okay, fair enough.
From my own point of view.
Fair enough. What's the biggest challenge in your business right now?
Well, basically, when things go a bit difficult in the economy, wrongly, in my opinion, people tend to shut down their marketing. And so over the last 18 months, it has been like that, very much so. And lots of people who I sell to are involved in events, and that hasn't happened. But as things start to open up, that's going to change. But it has had an impact on some of my big clients, because I haven't been going out to see clients, their own clients, to give things away.
Right. Who's your target audience?
Well, I always say, actually, as I said for many years, the tennis club or the multinational, and I'm saying to everybody in between. But the sweet spot, I suppose, is a medium-sized company, probably a professional company like an accountant or solicitors, who might buy from me some pens, and they may say a few months later, actually, Steve, we're looking to get some umbrellas, we're looking to get some clothing for our staff when they go to events, and then it starts to grow, and then eventually they'll start thinking of me as the go-to person. That's quite good for me.
Okay. What one thing can the members here today do to help you?
Or buy corporate clothing with your own logo on, that'd be great.
Okay.
I suppose a less facetious answer is Well, if you know clients who use promotional merchandise and or are going to an exhibition, if you remember what those are, maybe you might think of me and say, I know this guy and I met him a couple of times and he sounds plausible. Can I introduce him? That sort of thing would be good for me.
Great. Share an interesting or fun fact about yourself or your business.
Oh, have I got it here?
I didn't expect you to be taking that long because I know the fun fact.
Yeah.
I saw this. Can you see?
Down slightly. You're above the camera.
That is a PVC representation of a disembodied thumb with scars and even it shows as if the bone is going through the middle. And that was supplied to Oxford University Press, who have historically been one of my biggest customers. They wanted this to promote a teenage detective book. Suitably gruesome, but it's fantastic. It's got scars and things on it. There you go. That's the funniest thing I could think of.
Okay, great. Open to the floor. Any questions for Steve?
I don't have a question, but just a comment. Those who don't know Steve, he's a fantastic street photographer. And if you will look at his images, they always have a deep story in them. And it's hard to identify for everyone, but if you've got that perspective, you will get it. They're just brilliant.
Thanks for that. You probably do need a bit of a weird streak in your head to appreciate some of them, but hey. Yeah, I'd love to connect with you on LinkedIn. That'd be super.
Other questions?
Yeah, I just Steve. Yeah, I just wanted to ask: how do you find the staple merchandising product, the mug? Is that a good seller for you, or?
Oh yeah, I sell a lot of mugs, and there's the sort of the bog standard Durham shape, which is quite a common one. It's just straight up and straight down, the builder's mug they call it, and there's all sort of highfalutin mugs, China ones as well. But no, they still are a very big seller. But my favourite, I'll just reach up and get this. It's not a mug, but it's still a drinking vessel. It's one of these insulated bottles. I think these are fantastic actually because they're so tactile. Well, not tactile. They're so really have a high perceived value. So it's like a mug, but it's not a mug.
Yeah, it's great. People can take it from the workplace to home, can't they? So you're forever. They're living with your brand.
Yeah, perfect. Thank you. I'll write that down.
Annalisa.
Okay, so I'm fascinated with the style of pens that people choose. So what is your most popular seller, Steve? And can you give us a 12 right now?
Well, this pen I showed you is my favourite pen to sell. It's a Bic pen and it's a rollerball. And because it's a pull-off cap, and because it is plastic rather than metal, as most rollerballs are, it's under £1. It's probably sort of 80p to £1. But that is my favourite pen.
That's your favourite, your personal favourite. Is that a popular seller as well? Is that?
Yeah, and I suppose it becomes popular because I push it myself because I think this is a pen, especially for a professional company, because this is a good one. There is, I don't want to diss the competition, but there's an accountants in Banbury that give out a pen with a funny head on the top with lots of hair. And I thought, well, is that best for an accountant to give out because is it a bit whimsical that? But hey, they like it. But I prefer more of a sober.
I can tell you for a fact, yeah, they don't last, those ones with the hair. It's very disappointing. They come apart.
But having said that, this pen is available in bright colours like pink and green and red and so.
You sold it to me, yeah.
Steve, I've got one question. Oh, sorry.
Okay, carry on, John.
I've got one question. So, Steve, when you're talking to one of your larger customers, who do you talk to, and what do you talk to them about?
Well, the first part of that question, John, is very interesting because sometimes it's the receptionist who orders promotional stuff, bizarrely. Sometimes it's the founder of the company, and it's knowing who to get through to. But I suppose typically it's the marketing department or the sales department. Yeah, what do you talk about really? I suppose I like to find out what they want. But I've had to learn a sort of hard lesson over the last couple of years, taking on a marketing company that has been pushing my LinkedIn and Facebook marketing. That there's so many people out there who do what I do, and people, especially a big company, will receive approaches from people like me all the time. So I've really got to sell Steve Gold. This is the only face I've got, unfortunately. This is the only voice I've got. This is the only personality I've got. So I've got to find the people who like working with me, and we become friends sometimes, but more than just a supplier. So I don't think I've answered your question very well there, but I just really want to get past the gatekeeper and speak to someone. I've got a great video testimonial from a very huge company based in Banbury. They're the biggest supplier of cosmetics and some grocery items in the whole country. And he's a fan of what I do, and he's did a great testimonial for me. And he said that all the time he's getting approaches, and he's the founder of the company, and he buys the stuff, promotional merchandise for the company, which is, again, it's an interesting model that he has, but he likes to keep an eye on what is going in and coming in and out.